this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Boss MS-3. Now, I know there's a whole lot of multi-effects processors that have everything right there, and including amp simulation and stuff like that. That's not what this is. This is a multi-effects processor, but this is for people that are into amps and pedals. Because not only does it have, 112 built-in effects, but it has a looping system where you can take your own favorite pedals, as I've done, and integrate them into your sound. I'll tell you all about it after I tell you about how I'm recording it. Couldn't be simpler. I've got my PRS David Grissom. I'm running directly into the Boss. And then, granted, it looks a little complicated down there, but I'll go through it as quickly as possible. We're running out of the Boss into a Fender Supersonic, and this is going into the clean tone. And I've got no reverb, anything like that, just in the clean channel, basically flat. We're miking that with a Royer R121. That's going in an Apogee Quartet and a Pro Tools. So guitar, pedal, amp, mic, Pro Tools, the universe. Now, here's where it gets a little more complex. Because this is a switching system, many of you have loopers, and I don't mean loopers as in you build a loop, but looping your pedals into it. Loopers in your pedal systems, that's what they're doing here. They're offering you a way to have a bypass looping system for your favorite pedals and integrate it with all these other great Boss effects. So what I've done, I have 1, 2, 3 across the board. In number 1, I have my Homebrew Power Screamer, which is a great old pedal I've had for 15 years. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but it is a bad mamma jamma. Sounds like this. Whoops, sounds like this. So who wouldn't want that on your pedal board? So I've got that. Next, I have the Saucy Box. And then I've got in the third effects loop, I have this MXR Reverb. Now here's where it gets even more complex. I'm running a Dunlop expression pedal out of here, out of the multi-effects unit. And I'm also running another one. They have 2 expression pedals out, which is really cool. To have all the abilities to, in this one pedal, have 2 expressions out, have 3 options for looping in your own pedals, et cetera, plus all the other 121 effects that Boss gives you. So it's a way of building, a pro-style pedal board, a very quick way of doing that. It's almost like a kit for building a pro-style pedal board. Now, I'll kind of get into how it all works. So there are a lot of players like Peter Frampton, for instance, who have this massive, amazing rig. And they preset, or actually he has his tech, preset the rig to follow his set list. This allows you to do that. You have 200 presets, and you can find your banks, build the sounds you want, and save them, and flip through them. And the way it works is basically like this. In the upper right-hand corner, you have a memory or manual setting. When you're in memory, it puts you on a different preset. So right now we're number 4, bank 4, number 2. And once you're in that setting that you want, you hit it to manual, and it lets you turn on and off the effects in that preset. So, want to add a little chorus? There you go. Want to add a little compression? There it is. Want to add your own effect? Another great thing, we've got left and right outs, which gives you the ability to run either mono like I'm doing right now, or for that massive stereo sound, you can get that as well. If you're a MIDI person, which I'm not, it gives you that option. Of course, there's a built-in tuner that works well, and you can see it, love that. Less things in your, anytime you can have less in your signal chain, I think you're better off. So, built-in tuner. Also a USB patch if you really want to get in some serious editing, which seems like that's kind of the standard of the industry right now. Computers at gigs are kind of part of the norm. So why don't I just kind of flip through a few of these and you can see what it does. Right now, as I said, we're in 4 in the second setting in that. Bank 4 second setting. Oh, also you can run your banks up and down by engaging pedals 1 and 2. So it's, you can do it all with your feet, which is a great way to go. But let's just stick on number 4 right where we are and see what happens. Okay, this first setting is called Rock You Love. Let's see what that madness is. Okay, looks like... Whoa, man, didn't see that one coming. There's a whammy built into that. Which brings up an interesting point. All the effects they have on here, I won't read them all, but you have delays, there's tons of, single pan, stereo, dual, reverse, analog, tape, Tera Echo, reverbs, ambient, room, hall 1, plate, spring, modulation. For mods 1 and 2, you have chorus, phaser, flange, tremolo, pan, rotary, slicer, vibrato, ring modulator. Then you get into the weird things like sitar, slow gear, octave, pitch shift, all that. And then of course, all the overdrives and compressions, T-wahs, things like that. All these amazing sounds, which, particularly I find when I'm playing live, I pretty much know what I want to sound like, but in sessions, I love having all these weird things in my toolbox in the event I need them. So the great thing about this, you could set all the things you're going to use on your favorite presets, and then have all the weirdo things at the ready should you need to get more experimental. Okay, let's see what else we have. And again, this is, I'm just like a monkey stepping on pedals. I'm just seeing what this thing has, which I'm sure most of you are like that too. You can read manuals all you want, but ultimately, I think we find out what they sound like by just stomping on them and see what they do. Okay, there we are, just straight, dry, clean. Oh, that's another thing I like about this. When you go to the manual setting, it tells you what you have. Okay, so we have a delay on this setting. And of course, we can change that if we don't like that delay. I think it's fine. Next, we have a mod. It looks like a tremolo. Very cool. We have, what is this? Oh, it's a phaser. Mod 2 is a phaser. Cool. And then we have, first is a compressor. So great sounds there. And I find, I don't know, the best gear to me, I like gear that inspires you, one way or the other. And I find it very inspiring just to kind of randomly swing through these and see where it goes. Man, that is a lush sound, and there are tons of them in here. So as you can see, the way I have it wired here with my own favorite pedals wired in, it might seem a little cumbersome, but you don't need to use that. You could just use it as it is, and it's going to give you all the sounds you basically need. So for a fly date, you could have that thing, you could basically carry that in your pocket and walk on stage, plug into an amp with a guitar, and you're good to go. Particularly if you preset the sounds that you're going to use. Basically, I like to go in with, I want overdrive, I want a little delay, I want a little reverb. If I've got that, I can pretty much make it through anything. And for funsies, I love having a tremolo or a phaser for a weird little bit. But you could have it a very compact unit like this. However, if this is your rig, ideally you'd probably find a pedal board and wrap your cabling neatly in there, and then you would have a killer rig. That would be a little bit bigger, but you'd be loaded for bear at that age, at that stage. Also, I like the backlit LED. I'm not sure how it's working in video land, but in the room, it's easy to read, which is great. It's not a particularly big screen, but you can read it. Some of these that are not backlit, I find very difficult to read. So editing is right on front. All the controls are right there, easy to get to edit and write. Also, a readout right here lets you know what's engaged before you play, which is great. So right here in this setting, when we hit over to manual, you can see that we have, I've integrated my own pedals into it. Here's that reverb I like. Right over here is the saucy box. And then when I want to unleash doom, so as you can see, a very pragmatic approach for people that love pedals and amps. Way to kind of clean up your signal and give you a lot of tones you might not already have. In summary, the Boss MS-3 is a great way to integrate these new Boss effects, old school Boss effects, and your favorite old stomp boxes you have laying around. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, make sure you like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check us out on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. This is John Bollinger. Till next time.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on premierguitar.com.